Hello and welcome back to the channel where we are building a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. Yo Loki, what's up? Good evening, good evening. Yo, yesterday we started working on this castle. We didn't have any of these sprites before yesterday, so we made this whole castle yesterday with a partial door here. We got a little stairway as well as a bed we can kind of be in here. So this is the second scene of the opening cinematic. And we don't need collision on on the bed here just yet, you know. We'll need it for the inn, so we will add it. Oh, dang. Hey, that's okay, man. Hey, I hope you had a good stream. Yeah, and I totally get it if you gotta go, you know, eat dinner or whatever. So thanks for stopping by anyway. We're going to be loading the second scene of the cinematic right here, because we load the cinematic and we're passed out and Mage comes over here and rescues us. So the second part of the cinematic, we need to trigger a fade to black and then trigger a load to the castle, and Mage needs to be in the castle. We need to maybe add other stuff to decorate the castle. I probably won't do that tonight. We'll probably try to get the scripting working for the dialogue and the player movement. So I think that's what we're going to be doing today, is trying to continue triggering the opening cinematic. So the good news is the opening cinematic is only those two scenes. It starts at the volcano and takes us to the cave, the castle, and he'll basically just tell us like, hey, do you really not remember anything? And you'll say no, and then he'll also say, nice. Well, yeah, thanks for being here, man. Yeah, I hope it was a good stream for you. I think Mage will just kind of say like, hey, you don't remember anything? Well, meet me in the library and we can go over some of your training if you really don't remember anything, sort of deal. So that's what we're going to try to script. So I think the first thing we need to do is go to our opening cinematic and trigger a fade to black, right? So we do have like a doorway closing for our scene transitions. So like if we load our game and we walk into a dungeon, this is a bad scene to test it out in. We can, if we go back to our spawn point and go back to our original spawn zone, we can see that we have like an animated curtain close, kind of like transition, and curtain open. I don't think I want that for this scene transition. I think we want just a real fade to black here. So let's do, it'll be easy to fade to black. We just need to trigger an opacity thing. So once Tashio, you know, we have this built out in different steps here. So like Tashio step 1 is where he rises up, and then Tashio is also controlled by the Mage step 3. So Tashio step 1, do we do anything to get us out of step 1? We don't. So we could do a different advancement. I think we can, yeah, you know, I need to come up with some convention to kind of trigger the logic a little easier, because Mage step 1, 2, 3, that makes sense, but then Tashio only goes to step 1, and then what is the next step for the scene transition? So we have to add a certain step here where we can say, you know, we can say, well, if our Tashio's Y position, actually, yeah, because we scoot, see right here, we clamp our player's Y position to be this tile size times 3. So we can say if we've essentially reached that clamping position, then we're gonna not become Tashio step 1 anymore, just so we don't accidentally keep us rising in any capacity. So we're gonna say step 1 is false, Ideally, we would trigger step 2 here, but we don't have a step 2. We need to kind of think about how to trigger castle scene. So what we can do is, you know, this is, we've stopped rising, and then we get triggered over here by mage step 3, which is, I don't really like it, but it doesn't really matter. It's just about getting this done. So we can trigger a fade to black if our Tashio's player gets off screen. So if our Tashio's X is smaller than 0, which that's like right when he's starting to get off screen, which I think is okay to start triggering the transition. So how would we trigger it? We can say something like, let's just say fade to black gets true here. We don't have a fade to black, but we will make one. Okay, and then we'll just say our fade to black here starts off as false. And then if our fade to black is false, we need to start to fade to black, or if it's true, if we're fading to black, then we need to take whatever our black opacity needs to just fade in. So it needs to get bigger. And we can do whatever, maybe if it's 25 values, right, for 8 bits of alpha channel, 255. If we want a 1 second fade, then in 60 frames, we need to get there. So that would be about 5 pixels per delta time. Not pixels, but value for the opacity. So we'll try that. We're going to say our black opacity gets modified like that. And we have to go and give us a black opacity of 0 to start out with. And we only need to render our fade to black down here after our keylogger even will say, well, if our fade to black is true, then we will set our color, love.graphics, set color to be equal to a completely black screen. We actually need to set a color based on the opacity. So what we'll do is we'll give it a black value on the RGB, and then the alpha will be the black opacity here. So if we're fading to black, we'll do this black opacity, which should be growing over time. And then that's just the color set, but we need to actually draw a rectangle the size of our scene. And type fill. X and Y of 0, and then a width of our virtual width, height of our virtual height. Yeah. And then we should have a fade to black. Now it's right when Tashio starts to go off screen in the opening cinematic here, so we'll make sure that's looking right. Okay, it should trigger soon, and right here. Nice. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Okay, so if fade to black is true, we need we basically need to count when black is 255. So we'll say if our fade to black is equal to 255 or greater than 255, then we need to fade from black. And also turn off our fade to black. Okay, so we fade from black, and then, you know, we can do if we're fade from black, then we want to do the opposite, which is deduct our black opacity by 5. So we'll find this -5, and then we can also say if at this point, if fade from black is true, if our black opacity, or when our black opacity gets to be smaller than or equal to 0, we're going to both change our black opacity back to 0, and also fade from black gets false, which we still need this defined in the init. Yep. Okay. And then in the render, we can say, well, if we're fade from black, render it. Else if fade from black, same thing. But we only want to render the black fade if we're either fading to or from black. So we'll just leave that for now and just see if it works. We'll run it. Let's see. Now it'll be in the same scene because we didn't change our scene, but we're just seeing if the fade works. Ooh, our pics. Oh shoot. A couple of things broke there. We didn't do. Let's see. If fade to black, then we do this. Else if fade from black, then do this. Okay, so why did player X smaller than 0? We should have. I don't know what would have changed that to be wrong. Step 1 is false. Maybe we did this wrong. I don't know why the particle system stopped updating. That was weird. Okay. Shit. 104. Oh, it's black opacity here. Okay. Okay, let's see. All right. I did not see our fade to black coming back in. So we subtract 5 from our black opacity if we're fading from black. Fading from black gets true if we are greater than 255 and we're fade to black. Okay. And then if our black opacity gets smaller than or equal to 0, we're going to reset it. Stop fading from black. Okay. So I think what we want to do is maybe do this if we're fading to black or fading from black, we just want to set our black opacity to 55 and then render the whole black scene. And then also, what could be screwing this up? We have fade to, fade from, both false. Then we only trigger a fade to black if our player's X is less than 0. Oh, we're constantly triggering the fade to black here. So let's just say, yeah, if we're done fading to black, like right here, Let's just put our player's X position just middle of the screen or something. But also, we are moving our player here based on mage step 3. So mage step 3 should be false at this point. And then we'll just give this, I don't know, like 20 or something. Because we were always triggering a fade to black because our player's X position was smaller than 0. So we just need to make sure that is not the case. And we should fade back from black. Let's see. Nice. Okay, great. Yeah, and you know, obviously he's in the wrong spot, but now that the fade is working, we can load a new scene. So how we're loading the current scene here is based on the current map instantiation. And then we probably need a bunch of little things like this. Like, yeah, we need to change our animation, change our state, turn off the lava system, turn off the particle systems, and then trigger. Let's see. So once we fade, it would be right here. Once we are done fading to black, we need to set a couple of things. And we will set our current map to be 1019. That's our castle. And then change state to maybe player idle. I don't know. Direction down, change animation. Let's try not changing animation and let's just see where it might leave us. Let's see. We should be in the castle now. I'm just not sure what Tashio will look like at this point. Our direction should be down. So he should be facing down. We just need to place him where the bed is. Oh, okay, yeah, we're still raising him. Wow, that looks wild. So yeah, we need to turn off our lava system. We also need to turn off whatever mage step we're on. Yeah, this is crazy. Okay, yeah, we need to turn off our lava system. So there's a thing we can do. It's called, is it called clear? It's a particle system reset, I think. Or maybe we can only render, like maybe we can trigger a castle view so that we can only render the particle systems if we're not in the castle view or whatever. Something like that, where we can say castle view is going to get true at this point, and then we can put castle view right here. And then only render our particle system. You know, that's a little lazy because our particle system will still be updating, but it's not really a big deal. I'm kind of at the point where it's like, you know, I'm trying to get the demo out. I was hoping it would be done at end of February, so we're just trying to get it working at this point. And we're only loading the scene for as long as it takes to cycle through the dialogue, and then we don't come back here, at least in the opening cinematic state. So kind of just thinking we bodge it together and then call it a day. And I'll get better making it, you know, the more experience I get making it. So we'll just use it as a learning experience to try to figure out how to do better. We render our particle systems right here, so we'll just say if we're not in scene view, castle view, then go ahead and render our particle systems. So that should take care of that. But we're also like updating our Y position based on a mage step, because we move. Yeah, we need to come Tashio. Why are we doing this? If our Y is tile size... Yeah, we don't want this. So Tashio step 1 is we just float us when mage casts a spell on us. And where are we even doing that? Right here. Okay, so we have this little wait timer, and then we trigger a Tashio step 1. So let's Tashio step 1 fade false, because that's the raising us up. So by the time we are tracking with the X position of mage, our Tashio step 1 needs to be false. This is so bodged together. But we are flushing our mage step upon a fade to black. So that might be okay. Let's see if we're carrying over any X or Y update logic on Tashio by the time we fade into the castle view. Our particle system turned off. And our lava particle system did not. So we're triggering our castle view too soon. Wherever castle view is getting turned true, that is too soon. Yeah, it's not here. Actually, that should be exactly when it is. Because fade to black would be true, and our black opacity would have to go from 0 up to past 255, or equal to, in order to castle view true. Unless we do this anywhere else. I don't think we do. Nope. In particle system 1 and 2, there's lava system, yeah. Lava system as well. Okay, let's see if the particle system pauses again. Right when we go to Tashio step 2 or whatever it is. Why does it do that? We stop moving our particle system for Tashio. Everything else is looking okay though. You know, we got our movement is locked. We're in the right animation. We just need to place them right. But we are not moving our player here. No, we're not moving our particle system here. Oh, step 1. Okay, so let's do... We took out this... Okay, so if step 1, so we flush... Where do we do our... Tashio step 1 is false. Then it gets true here, and we're setting it to false here in mage step 3, which is incorrect. We want to basically keep him moving, keep the particle system moving with Tashio until we're faded. So we'll put Tashio step 1 false here, and then we'll see if we gotta just place him after that. Okay, it's moving. We fade. Cool. Okay, it looked a little different. The particle system didn't look like it used to. It looked like a very thin line. That looks right. No, that looks right. Okay, that does look right. Okay, great. So let's place us. We need to be 1 tile up, 1 tile to the left. So 1 tile up would be 2, and this would be 7, and then we should be in the bed. Then we need to insert a mage into our NPC table, and then we need to add a dialogue box object that kind of self-triggers by a timer or by a mage X position as he walks up to the bed. So, oh fuck, we need to be like a little bit higher because we're covered by the bed there. So maybe like 8 pixels higher on the Y. Now, it would be nice to we need to kind of just see what our castle view is right off the bat. So I'm just going to set this to true so that we don't have to wait for the whole transition, and we can just see what it looks like. Well, that was not what I expected. Oh, that's very close. Yeah, he needs to be down maybe like 2 pixels. Why didn't that work? Castle view to true. What I say, down 2 pixels, so this may be -6. Yeah, I'd like to be able to trigger the castle part right away instead of waiting for this, but okay, that's pretty much it. Because yeah, he's in bed there. Okay, cool. So he's stuck in bed. We need Mage there, and Mage can walk down from upstairs and walk over to him and start talking to him. So we can have him walk downwards, and then over to the right, and then initiate a dialogue box. That will be good. So hold on a sec. How would we trigger castle view? Castle view. And we have a castle view render. Where are we changing? If we're castle view, we're not even doing. Yeah, we do that right here. So we kind of need to just. Oh, fade to black. Okay. So if we want to trigger the castle right away, we'd have to say, okay, not only are we fade from black true, but we're also a black opacity of 255, and then that'll trigger a fade from black and put us right into castle view. At least it should. So let's see. Oh, didn't quite work. Let's maybe set this to 200 or something. No. Okay, so fade to black. We update this. We turn into castle view. If we're bigger than 255, it doesn't seem to work. So let's just say fade from black. We need to fade to black. Yeah, fade to black gets true here. And then our black opacity will be true, so that we'll fade from a black first thing after we... Oh, come on, dude. I hate when this happens. And the only way I figure out... This is one reason I hate streaming on Windows. It's like, I only get this issue on Windows where it'll get just stuck behind the screen there. Alright. Fade to black gets true. Let's just say we just set it to true. Oh, and then it's never getting false. So let's only do this in the init, and then I think that might work. We'll just say fade to black. We'll get true. Okay. And wrong button. Okay. Goes right into castle view. Perfect. Okay. Oh, we shouldn't have been able to move him there, but let me see if we can do that again. Okay. Oh no. We should not. No, what the fuck? Okay, yeah. It's different because this is we need. Yo, he got so he was like he wasn't even walking right. He had that bedhead. That's because we didn't trigger our steps appropriate. Like, you know, we're doing this based on the steps, and we set one step to be true, which this needs to be false if we don't want Mage to start influencing Tashio's behavior there. So there's got to be a better way. We have to do like a global stage instead of this Mage step 1, Tashio step 1. We need to just do a step 1, step 2, and set it, because now that we have that step 1 turned off, we shouldn't be able to get bedhead like that. We do need to set our players' direction to down upon a fade to black. So if we're a fade to black, let's do our G player direction gets down here, and we should be facing down. Nice. Okay, cool. So let's add a Mage and have him walk in and talk to us in bed. So this is a map 1020. So if we go to our declarations here, we have towards the bottom here in a mage 1020. Okay, so we need to do something like this, where we insert the mage into the 19th scene and give him different states, and then change his state to, we don't need to do this, it's just that I guess we can do it like this. We just have to kind of put, that's just like where we initialize it. So as long as we have the walking down, we can put him wherever we want. Let's see. Because we're kind of like, when we're mage step 1 here, yeah, we just modify a couple of things. So let's do, and you know, we'll get better at doing this, but if castle step 1 is true, then we want to, oops, then we want to modify our mage's Y position to make him walk downwards. So we also need to initialize him at a certain speed too, and change him to a walk down. We'll get rid of this for now. What up, Squinch? How's it going, dude? Yeah, we need to basically set our mage's X and Y position, and we can't, let's see, we're pulling mage. Where is this mage? Oh, see, we need to pull a castle mage from the correct NPC table. So we'll say that castle mage is from the right location here, which is 19.npc index 1. And castle mage can be modified using the local variable here, and we'll say if castle step 1, all of this mage talk needs to be castle mage. And then yeah, we need to change castle mage's X and Y to be right above the stairway so he can walk down into it. So let's, upon a, what is it, a fade to black, we need to put yeah, we need to set the castle mage's position, so we can set its X and its Y to be, X would be, is it tile size times 2? Tile size times 2, so the third tile over for the X, and then the Y will be a negative tile size just off screen. And we'll see if the walk down is working for the mage. Yo, we're doing good, Squinch. I missed my commit for the day, so I don't have my green dot for GitHub, but that's okay. I did not get around to programming till like 11:45 tonight, so what? Castlemage.x.y, you don't like this? 507. Oh, on the map declarations? How are you doing, Squinch? What, you don't like this? We need a table.insert a mage into map 1019. Man, there's been all kinds of these crazy ban evaders lately. Okay. Yeah, we're missing right here where we give us a mage in the scene here. So this just needs to be 20, and actually, yeah, this is a better way to do it. 19, and we'll put our mages, yeah, we'll put the mage XY here. That's a better thing anyway. So we'll do, yeah, X of tile size times 2, negative tile size for the Y, and then we won't change it in the opening cinematic. Oh, nice. Cool. Is the job interview a programming job or what? I know I've been trying to get, I've done 2 programming job interviews. I thought they went well, but I haven't heard back, so I'm kind of giving up at this point because it was in October I had my interview, so I'm going to assume the radio silence is a bad thing. Yeah, we don't need to do this here. Let's see. Come on, mage. Nope, nope, nope. Mage not coming in. The tile size should be 1, 2, 3. System support job. Okay. If we get the X wrong on the mage there, he'll just get stuck in a collidable map object. Oh, okay. Well, hey, that's at least pretty encouraging that they're the ones that reached out, right? So tile size 1 would be right here. Tile size 2 would be right here. Tile size 3 would be right here, which should be here. Okay, let's just try to scoot us down. Let's just see if I'm even showing up here. Nice. Yeah, I say give it a shot. I mean, even if you're not really even interested in the job, if you're just trying to, if you haven't interviewed in a while, I think it's always a good idea. Okay, so mage is there. He's not walking though. I know, at least for me in programming jobs, it's so useful to just talk through and try to be able to talk through problems or talk, you know. For me, coming from a non-programming world and job, it's tough for me to talk to programmers and feel, you know, worthy of a job. So it's good for me to try to take whatever interview I can. This should be it. We should be in a mage index of walk, but we must be doing something in our opening cinematic where we're not updating our mage. Where do we update? You know, we're saying we need to update the NPC table here, and I don't see where we're doing that. We've got to be updating our mage over time, right? Well, we're kind of manually updating it just by changing the location. Okay. We do, yeah, we have the right map because we're seeing the mage in there. Oh, look at this right here. Yeah, we need to update our mage in the 19 if our self.castle view is true, then we need to update our 19th mage. So as we build these out, we'll kind of see what we need to do. This one is a compound cinematic, right? So I don't think we'll normally have to be doing different scenes like that. We're still not updating our mage though. Okay, yeah. It's tough, dude. I mean, even if I mean, like, I've been programming a couple years, and even the couple years of self-taught experience I have, I still have to learn so much to hold my own in a programming interview. Is castle view what we want to do for this? We update the NPC table in our map 1019. Are we only rendering? No, we should be rendering the NPC table. How else would we be seeing them? It's got to be part of our scene view render that we're rendering all NPCs in the table there. I mean, we see him. That's not the issue. The issue is that he's not updating his location. So did we stop? Did we not give him a, you know, we set our map here, and then if we're in a castle view, is that what we call it? Castle step. We're gonna update the Y and change. Yeah, we should be moving that castle mage, and we're snagging him here, so we know how to, yeah, that should be it. Okay, castle step 1. So are we not becoming castle step 1 then? Upon a fade to black, we need castle step 1 right here, which we are not doing. So let's trigger the castle step 1. Upon a successful fade to black, castle step 1. Yeah, it's true here. Okay, now he should update. Yeah, I mean, and that's what I hear from everybody too, where it's like, oh yes, he's going. You're never done learning programming, for sure, for damn sure. You don't ever like, oh, I know programming now, and you're done learning. Like, that is never the case. So that's what drew me to the field too. Okay, in our declarations here, we can set our Y to be the negative tile size, and then we can add specific logic. Like, I know our Tashio, he should walk from the stairs now. Yeah, nice. Okay, he's going a little fast. He's going a little fast, I'll give him that. The Y position should be a tile size 1, 2, 2. So once mage's Y is a tile size times 2, we should pause him, make him walk right. Okay, so in our castle step 1 here, gosh, yeah, this is getting gross. Okay, I want this to be slower, so we're just gonna half his walk speed. So that's slower. And then we're gonna only do this if, and we need to clamp his Y position to a smaller value. So it'll either be his updated Y position when he's walking down, or it'll be that tile size times 2. So 3, yeah, he'll be on the 3rd tile down, but when he stops. So, I mean, this will just kind of clamp his Y position, but it'll still be walking. Yeah, and that's a little too low, because Tashio's kind of higher up in the bed, so we can shift him. We can shift him by couple pixels or whatever, and then we can say, okay, well, if our castle mage's Y position reached that clamping location, which is it is this tile size times 2. So if he's hit, oops. Oh, and that's where we need to, yeah. The speed isn't where we clamp. Yeah, we leave that. Tile size times 2 minus 6 is what we clamp. And then we can ask if our castle mage's Y position is equal to that clamped value of tile size times 2 minus 6, then we want to, then, you know, we would turn into castle step 2 essentially, so we can update his logic that way. So 1 is false. 2 is true. And if we're in castle step 2, we need to update our mage's X position to go rightwards. So this will be a castle mage's X modified by a positive walk speed. And we need to clamp him to the left here, so still a math.min, but the width we want to clamp him at is now going to be at wherever the bed was. So we'll try tile size times 5, and we need to change his animation to a walk right. Okay, we need to count what bed he's actually at, what tile the bed is. Nice. So he walks right over to us. Oh my gosh, that's close. We need... yeah, I actually, this might be okay. It'll be weird if he goes one more tile, because that'll be like... Yeah, I think this is actually a decent space to be, but he needs to cool it on his animation, right? So we can say if his x is equal to that clamping value that we set, which is a tile size times 5. Wow, that scared the crap out of me. Yo, Brightside, what up, dude? Thank you for the raid, homie. Yo, welcome in. Let me give you a shout out here. Yo, I have terrible news. No chasms today. Yeah, sorry, I'm not Coley. I wish I was Coley. Yeah, but yo, I hope you had a good stream, dude. I was hoping you'd still be streaming when I finish so I could raid you, but you beat me to it. We're working on the opening cinematic here for the game, and we're scripting out the scene, right? So let me go. I'll show you from the top here. We'll swap over our render stuff so that I can show you the whole scene here. Fade to black gets... Oh, that is wrong. Fade to black gets false here. And then I'll show you the cinematic so far. Yo, hey, thanks for the follow there, Love Music. Yeah, I do try to raid you. I raid you. Well, and that's the thing. It's like you're almost perpetually raidable, so that's why I raid you. Yo, hey, thanks for the follow, everyone. I appreciate it. So this is the beginning of the game, and Mage kind of comes in here and rescues us, and then he walks over to us, and this is where like the expositional dialogue happens for the first time. So we have a title screen, but here's what's when you start a new game. It'll play this ominous music, and then Mage comes over here and rescues your passed out body, carries you over. We're working on this scene transition. We did all this castle stuff yesterday, so we're animating the castle here, and then we need to start adding in the dialogue for the character, for the exposition here. Yo, thanks for that. Yeah, I did the lava like 2 nights ago at like 4 a.m. But the fact that you know it's lava tells me I did at least a good enough job to be recognizable, right? So as long as it reads as lava, I was happy, so thanks for that. So now we need to start scripting the first dialogue of the game, really, because this is the first time you hear about anything. So we'll work on that. I'm going to switch a couple of these things around so that it's faster for iteration purposes. So now when we load the game, it goes right to the second phase of the cinematic, and then we'll work on the dialogue system. So the way our dialogue's working now is a little weird. We have a dialogue box object, right? And it takes in... Right now, it's triggered, like, it's basically like a collidable, and if you interact when your body is facing this collidable dialog box, it'll trigger a thing. So like right now we've got where you can run, or you can talk to an idol to meditate and save your game. So like the object, this idol right here, you know, if I press interact facing this way, it doesn't render the dialog box, but if we're facing it, it does. So that's how the dialog box, you know, it's a collidable essentially. But for the cinematic, we need to trigger it another way because the player isn't interacting with it. It just needs to be a scripted dialog box. But then we need the ability to choose an answer or just advance through the text. So we can insert, we have a global dialog box table for every scene that we've got. And then we were checking for collision upon a interaction button press. So this location, this anim row anim call parameter, we don't actually need because we're not going to be triggering it that way. But what happens is we update the dialog box that's in the first index if we interact with it. So we kind of just need to trigger. We just need to trigger. Okay, well, go ahead and start advancing through the dialog box object that's in there. So we'll have to try to do that. We'll do. We need to do a table.insert into the castle scene, which is a 1019. And we'll just give it, it doesn't matter what these parameters are, but here's where the text is. So we can say bright side movement just rated. And then we don't need the idle parameter because it is not a meditation idle. So we'll try to just insert it there. But the issue is, and we can see where we do this, when our game becomes paused, we are then updating the dialog box right here. Yeah, if we're paused, we're going to update the dialog box. Okay, so this is a little more convoluted. We don't need, basically, like once we interact with the dialog box, we put it into this dialog box collided table, and we only update that. I think we might be able to get away with just updating the dialog box. So let's test this out because we don't have a dialog box collided, but we need to trigger this dialog box we just inserted. So we have in the logic here, castle step 1, step 2. Now once we go to the idle right animation, that's when we need to start updating the dialog box that is in our scene, and that kind of handles the pausing for us. So this is a 1019. And it's not dialog box collided, it's just the global dialog box table, index 1, the only one that's in there, and update. So let's see if we get the dialog box on screen once Mage is done walking towards us. Let's see. He's gonna walk towards us, and hopefully we get a dialog box updating. We do not. So we might need to, I think we might need to become paused. Let's look at the dialog box object because we have, see, we're only rendering it if our game is paused, which I think we want to change, but let's just say that we become paused at this point so that we can render our dialog box and see if we did that right. Because I think for stuff like this, like a scripted dialog box, we don't want, it's still not working. We don't want animated tiles to necessarily pause. Like if there's water moving, as someone's talking to you, the water should still be moving. So our paused was to prevent our character from updating and getting manipulated by inputs. But we need to do something slightly more sophisticated. So we do have this, if paused, render the thing. What happens to, it should be once we, let's look at our dialog box collided. But yeah, Brightside, I like rating you, but also like you're you're rateable all the time. Like you're always streaming when I'm wrapping up, so it's nice because especially because I stream just about every day, so I'm always rating out to somebody. So it's nice having you always active. Only render a collided signpost. Wow. So we only render. Okay, so this is the issue here, I think. So where this is so weird. Let's just see if this fixes the problem. We insert into our dialog box table. Oh, dialog box collided. That's the one we gotta do. No, dude, no. Well, the thing is, I'm not even consistent anymore. I used to be right at the right time, or right at a consistent time, but not anymore. So now it's all over the place. So you can't plan it because I'm not consistent. So that's the issue. Looks like we're only rendering a dialog box collided table and not the dialog box. Not any dialog box, only the one that we collided with. So that makes sense for when we manually collide with the dialog box, but it doesn't make sense for a scripted dialog box. So we'll probably have to change that. I just want it to work at this point. We'll just see if we can get our 1019. You know, we need to insert 1019 dialog box collided, and we'll insert the exact dialog box from our declarations here. So it'll be index 1. Is that right? Yeah. So we take the dialog box 1, we put it into the dialog box collided, and then we update our dialog box collided, which now that we're paused, we should see it. Let's see. Come on, dialog box. Let's go. Shit. We did not do it right. Well, we aren't rendering the dialog box here in our scene, in our map. Like, we need to do this. This is in our scene. Oh, we are rendering it in our scene, so it should work here. It should work here. Because, yeah, we're rendering our scene in our opening cinematic. So it really should. Yeah, that should work. I don't know why it's not working. Because here, when we render our scene view, we should be rendering any dialog box collided object, and we set the collided object right here in our castle. Yeah, we say insert into your dialog box collided the actual dialog box at index 1. Let's make sure that's right. Yeah. Dialog box into 1019. Yep, that's right. Dialog box index 1 from 1019 into the dialog box collided. Yeah. Shoot, man. This... I was hoping it wouldn't be like this. Okay, let me try. I'm gonna turn this off and see if we can render our any of our dialog boxes or not, because I don't think it does. Yeah, see, it paused, but it's not rendering our dialog box, so we were right. Yeah, see, it paused, but doesn't render the dialog box until we advance through the text. So we are needing to render this dialog box collided. Index K, run the render. Yeah. So let's maybe just... Yeah, where are we doing this elsewhere? Where are we assigning into the dialog box collide the actual object? Well, right here, this is in the dialog box class. Okay. So that's not where I want it. Yep, it's right here. Okay, so we might have to do this weird stuff, because what we're doing here is we're flushing the line results. This is kind of just resetting the dialog box so that we can render it properly, but the fact that we're not seeing anything is unsettling. But yeah, we insert a dialog box from the table, insert it into the the box collided function, which is what we're doing right here. Yeah, and I don't think it matters. You know, this dialog ID, it's got, oh, actually, hold on. Yeah, dialog ID. We aren't using the dialog ID anymore, I don't think. Yeah, we're not using this dialog ID anymore. Oh, we are. Oh, that's just where we are. Hold on. We do use it. We use it to update the dialog box. Oops. Okay, so this might be it. Since we're not doing... Oh, this is jacked up. Okay. So this is in our play state. We're saying if we're paused, we're going to go ahead and update the dialog box as well as the dialog box collided. This is disgusting. Okay. So if we go to our opening cinematic in our update function, which is right here, we're going to say if we're paused. Yeah, oh, you know what? Yeah, this isn't. We don't have the treasure chest option, so this is what did we just do? If we upload or update the dialog box collided, let's see if that changes anything. No. It doesn't like, oh, we've got all this junk. Okay, let's see. We do need to fix this system. Because ideally, all we do, it should be very simple. All we need to do is render the freaking dialog box that's in there. Well, we need to update it as well as render it. So the fact that this is just not that easy is just kind of baffling to me. So we can't just say, let's update the dialog box and let's render it. Because we're rendering it in our scene view. So there's something just wrong about how we're doing that. So like what we can do, since we're triggering paused here, I think we just can add some custom render logic. Yeah, let's take this out. Well, yeah, we don't want this. We need to update our dialog box so that we can advance through the text. And we're doing that here in Castle Step 2. So maybe what we can do is say, let's trigger to Castle Step 3. And then if we're in a Castle Step 3, then we want to update the dialog box that's in our scene here. And we need to also Castle Step 3. Okay. Okay. So if Castle Step 3, we're going to update this. Now, if Castle Step 3, we also need to render the dialog box that's in there. And we're paused. So it should be okay to do this. And we can say, if Castle Step 3, then go ahead. Where is, yeah, this. And we can say, let's render this bad boy right here. After our scene, it should show up. It should show up. Nothing, man, nothing. Nothing. This just proves how much work we've got to do on the dialogue system to make it friendly, right? Because we're, I don't know, like let's not worry about being paused because that's probably not updating stuff. Let's just say we don't become paused here. Which, oh, we don't. Yeah, we don't become paused. Okay. Well, that would... We do have to become paused in order to update. Okay, come on. Let's see a dialog box. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, it's on there. It's just not right. Okay. Well, we become paused. We update it, which it should do its whole thing of printing onto the screen, but it is not. Yeah, we should be updating it. We take a look at the dialog box class. We update this thing. You know, I think we're doing this based on, oh God, a whole bunch of stuff. Like we're manually doing all this stuff of like, we're parsing the string we pass as a parameter. We split it up into different substrings for every line and every page of dialogue so that we can advance through and print it one character at a time. So like that's what this code is doing for the dialogue box. But also that made a whole bunch of weird crap that needed to get right. Like all of this junk needed to get set in order for that to work properly. So we might have to do that here upon the pause, or upon when we insert it in a castle step 3. That's not what I wanted. Right here. Okay, so castle step 3. Yeah, before we become paused, let's go ahead. Yeah, and we want to change this. Oh, yeah. Oh, here, I can do this. So I can do change what's inside. Nope. Nope. Okay. Okay, let's try. If we wipe all these line results, maybe it starts to render properly. Shit, we got the B. We got the B of Brightside Movement in there. Shit, man. No, man. No, Coley's got a capital D in there. I know that. Shoot, man. Okay. There's something in our dialog box class that is just not playing nice. Text index. Did we reset the text index? Do we run this flush text? We have a text index 1 here. Is this? See, and this shouldn't change it. Yeah, this is all right. When we do this, we initialize all of these to the right values we need to start printing. So I'm a little confused why doing any of these resets actually kind of did anything. If castle step 3, okay. Oh, we're flushing this. Oh, okay. So let's do this where, yeah, let's set these in the end of castle step 2 so that we don't flush our text every frame, and maybe we'll get Brightside Movement on screen here. Let's see. Come on, dude. Let's go. Yo, what do you think of that? All right, Brightside Movement just rated. Cool. So now the question is, can we advance the text, and does it know that that's the last page of dialogue? No, it doesn't. But that's because our dialogue box here, it printed up the stuff one at a time, which is good. But I thought we had, if we have a P press here and we're on the last page, that we would advance the page and become if our current page is equal to our page length, then we're going to become unpaused and flush our dialog box. We actually, since we only flush the dialog box collided. Okay, so maybe this is why we had the dialog box collided. What up, Chum Slick? How's it going, dude? Nice name there. Okay, so I think we should only update the dialog box collided table and only render the dialog box collided table. That way, when we hit P, we'll actually flush the dialog box. Therefore, we'll become what? Unpaused? Well, we're not even becoming unpaused either. Let's see if we're becoming unpaused in this once we hit P. So let's just print up on screen here our global pause. Let's see. Okay, let's see if we become paused. We should. Okay, and then if we hit P, we are not becoming unpaused. So that line of code is never executing. So when P is pressed in our dialog box when we're updating, even though we advance our A button count, and even though our current page is equal to our page length, we're still not becoming unpaused. Now we are rendering, we're updating our dialog box. Oh, we might be resetting it here. Oh, maybe this. So we're on a step 3, we become paused, we update, but then when we become paused false, if it's that frame and paused was before, okay, let's say because we don't want to update and render this if we've advanced it past the current page. So right now we're kind of just only, I think we still have to do what we were saying we're going to do and insert it into the dialog box collided table. So I'm kind of curious if we turning this stuff off shouldn't be the issue of whether or not we see bright side on screen here. It should still show it. It does not. What the heck? Okay. But then I think what's happening here is we're in Castle Step 3. We become paused because we're in Castle Step 3. So if we're in an update and we hit P and we're on the last page, it doesn't clear the dialog box collided table. So it still just thinks we're paused and it still just updates the only dialog box that's in there. So I think that's probably the reason we did it that way. But it's getting a little hard to think of with the where are we inserting this dialog box? We're not even, all we're doing is updating it. So dialog box collided. We need to insert it here. And this is right when we become paused. So when we do this, we're going to insert... Yo, Chumslick, hey, thank you for the follow, dude. Appreciate it. Okay, so we're going to go into the dialog box collided table from the scene we're in. And we're going to insert, and this is, this is wrong too. Because we don't want to insert a whole bunch of these objects. We just want to insert one. So I think what I want to do is move this into the init. Yeah, so we'll just say, let's insert the dialog box from our declaration, into the dialog box collided, and then I believe we should not even have to render the dialog box because we're rendering, let's say we turn this off. We should only render the dialog box we've collided with, which we manually assigned here, so let's see if it comes up. No, it does not. Let's just try to do it this way where we say dialog box collided, because that logic is in our place, or in our scene logic. I don't get why that wouldn't work. But let's see if Brightside shows up here. Okay, sweet. Now we hit P. It does not do its thing because we are not updating our collided box. Oh man, this is weird, man. We've got to do some serious rehaul to this, because it should not be this difficult to get a dialog box on screen. Yeah, I think the issue lies here, where we're always paused. So I think what we can do for now is say all Castle Step 3 does is trigger the pause, and then we advance to Step 4 so that we don't keep becoming paused no matter what. So we'll say that Castle Step 3 is now false, and we'll advance to Castle Step 4. Yeah, we should do this as an integer and keep track of it that way instead of these booleans. Okay, so now if our Castle Step 4, let's update this. So now when this gets updated, we hit P, we are already paused. It says, hey, our current page is our last page, so let's go ahead and clear the dialog box collided table. And we're updating the dialog box here, and then when we render, I think we're only trying to render, well, let's see. When we render, we're rendering the scene view, and we're rendering a dialog box collided. I don't get why we can't just render the dialog box like normal. I don't get why we have to put it in this table here, but let's see. Shit. Yeah, we're not even updating our dialog box anymore. Oh, this should be 4. Because we advanced it to stage 4 now, so now we should render it since we're in stage 4 and we're paused. Let's see. Okay, cool. Brightside just rated. We hit P and nothing happens except a crash. Because we're only rendering it. Okay. Okay. I guess it makes sense. Because like the P registered because we cleared our dialog box collided table, and then since we were still in step 4, we went to render it, and it went to render nothing that's in there, and that's why it crashed. So we don't have a way to tell our step 4 to advance. But I mean, we could do this where we could say, well, if the dialog box that's in there, we can say if the dialog box that's in that number 1 spot does not equal nil, then we go render that should probably stop the crashing. And let's take off our keylogger because I can't see the blinking text advance when the keylogger's here. Because we have like a little triangle that signifies that there's another page of dialogue in there. Okay, so we load this. Mage walks in, walks over to us. Triggers bright side movement just rated. We've got the dialogue advance. If we hit P, nothing happens. Ay. Okay. Well, it advanced. It advanced when I hit it twice, which is still not right. What happened there, man? Why did that, of all things, happen? Like, it worked, I just had to hit it twice. The only thing I could think of is that we had a weird page count error or something. Like, it thought there was 2 pages. It didn't advance or print anything on a second page, though. Right side movement just rated. We advance, hit P, nothing happens. Hit it again, then it advances. Okay, well, and okay, and Coley is here to teach us all phonics. We are all hooked. Okay, let's see if we get a proper page count here. Right side movement just rated, and Coley is also here. No, it didn't advance. No. Okay. Well, the good news is we're on the second scene of the scripted opening cinematic. We've got a dialogue box on there. It's not working properly, but it gives us a chance to rehaul our dialogue box render so that it can be adaptable to a cinematic. So it shows how fragile our old system was. So we need to do some rehaul, which is not what I was hoping for, especially considering we want the demo done as soon as possible. But the ease of use in order to trigger these dialogue boxes is going to be essential for the speed of development moving forward. So we do have to figure this out. So instead of wrestling with it like I have been all of tonight, I think we just need to rehaul it so that it works better and more reliably. So yeah, we'll probably have a whole state machine to handle the dialogue update, and I think that'll just be a cleaner way to do it, because we've got all these little triggers and multiple tables, and it shouldn't be like that. It should just be like, it should just take an index of which dialog box to render, and then it just handles the text printing and the advancing page and all that stuff. It should be really simple. So we're gonna have to change it, rehaul it, but it'll be good for the long run. So I'm gonna say that we added castle scene to our opening cinematic. And then we will raid out and find a homie to raid. We'll run the credits here. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll unfortunately just rehaul the dialogue system, which is going to take a little bit of time, but it's going to be worth it. We'll find someone to raid out to here. Let's see. We've got Booyah Grandma. We got Jed M. T Sundown is even streaming right now. We'll raid out to Jed because he's been building a really cool game, and he's always nice. And he's always working on some cool game dev stuff, so we'll raid out. Thanks for watching, y'all. Catch you later. Yo, thanks for the raid. Brightside, thanks for hanging. Squinge and Loki. Chumslick, thanks for the follow. Catch you later. Thanks for watching. Have a good night, y'all.
Because you've also got TAA, right? If you don't want to use upscaling